Hello everyone. Today we are discussing problems of exercise 13.5 of chapter number 13, surface areas and volumes. So let's start with the question number 1. A copper wire 3 millimeter in diameter is wound about a cylinder whose length is 12 centimeter and diameter 10 centimeter so as to cover the curved surface of the cylinder. Find the length and mass of the wire, assuming the density of copper to be 8.88 gram per centimeter cube. So this is taken as a cylinder and a wire is wound throughout its curved area or curved surface, you can say. And copper wire which has been wound around the surface of the cylinder its diameter is given, that is the copper wire's diameter is given, and the cylinder's total diameter as well as the total length is given. Okay, so now we have to find out how many wounds will be required to cover the whole surface, curved surface of the cylinder, and then we will find out the length of the wire. Okay, so let's start with the given thing, which is radius of copper wire. Radius of copper wire is equal to how much it is given? This is given to be the diameter, so it is 3 by 10, and again this is in 3 by 2. 3 by 2 will be the radius, which is in mm. Now we have to change this in centimeters because remaining things are in centimeters, you can see. So you will have 3 by 2 into 10, that is 3 by 20 centimeters. Then height of the cylinder is given. Height of the cylinder is given to be 12 centimeter. Again, diameter of the cylinder is given. So we will just write what is the radius of the cylinder. Okay, radius of the cylinder will be 10 by 2, which is 5 centimeters. So I have shown in the figure, this is 5 centimeter, this is 12 centimeter, and this I have taken that wire in order to show that it is also cylindrical in shape. Actually it is having that thickness, that is the diameter which they are showing, that is giving its thickness. Okay, so that is 3 mm, that will give you the radius of the copper wire. What will be the number of rounds that is taken by the wire to cover the curved surface of the cylinder? To cover the curved surface of the cylinder. What will be that? How will you get how? It will be height of the cylinder divided by diameter of the wire. What is the height of the cylinder? 12. It is in centimeters. Now diameter of wire is given to be 3 mm. So we are just changing it as 3 by 10. 3 by 10 will give you like this. So you'll have 120 by 3, which is 40. So the number of rounds will be 40. Now we have to find out the length of the wire used in one round. For one round, one rotation, how much wire will be required? Okay, length of the wire used in one round will be equal to, how will you get? It will be the actually circumference of that cylinder. So it is 2 pi r. So 2 into pi you can take as 3.14 into the, what is r? The radius of the cylinder, which is 5 centimeters. So you are getting the length of the wire to be equal to, this is 2 into 5, 10, so 31.4. 31.4 centimeters will be the length of the wire used in one round. And how many rounds are there? 40. So you will get the total length of the wire used as 40 into this much. Okay, therefore the total length of the wire used in 40 rounds, that is same as to cover the total curved surface area of the cylinder. Okay, so you will get 40 rounds to cover the surface, curved surface of cylinder, which will be equal to 40 into 31.4, and that is equal to 1256 centimeters. So this was the one question which they have asked, that is find the length of the wire. Now we have to find out the mass of the wire, and in order to get the mass, first we need to find out what is the volume of the wire. Now volume of the wire will be equal to, again it will be pi r square h, where the r will be of the wire. Okay, pi r square h, pi, again pi, here we are using 22 by 7 because of ease of calculation. Okay, here it was 2 into 5, 10, so we have used 3.14, and here we are using 22 by 7 for pi value, and r is 3 by 20. So 3 by 20 into 3 by 20 into, what is h? H is actually acting as the length of the wire. So the total length of the wire, you have got it to be 1256. So that will be h for this wire. So 1256. Now you are getting your answer to be, after calculation, as 88.82 centimeter cube. 88.82 centimeter cube. So this is the volume. Now what you need? You have to find out the mass. Mass of the wire will be volume into density. Mass is equal to volume into density. So mass of the wire is equal to volume of the wire into density, which is given in the question. You just see, density of copper is given to be 8.88 gram per centimeter cube, and the volume is in centimeter cubes. So you have to multiply these two, which is 88.82 into 8.88. How much you are getting? Just calculate. You will get 788.72. 788.72. What will be the unit? It is mass. So it is in grams. Okay, 788.72 grams is the mass of the wire. Question number 2 is, a right triangle whose sides are 3 cm and 4 cm other than hypotenuse is made to revolve about its hypotenuse. Find the volume and surface area of the double cone so formed. And you have to choose a value of pi as it is required, that is either you can use 3.14 or 22 by 7 accordingly. Okay, now when you have been given a right triangle with the sides 3 and 4 other than the hypotenuse, so BC is the hypotenuse here, and we are just making it to revolve about this BC, about the line BC. When it is being revolved, you will get a structure like this. So the solid form is a double cone. That is given actually in the question also. Find the volume and surface area of the double cone. So this is the double cone which is formed, and you have to find out the volume and surface area of the double cone. Okay, so for that actually what we require is BC, this length, or you can say this length and this length, and the radius. So first we are trying to find out what is the radius of the given cones or the formed cones. Okay, so what will be the hypotenuse of the triangle? Since it is a right angle triangle, hypotenuse will be root of 3 square plus 4 square, which is equal to 9 plus 16 root of 25, which is 5 centimeters. So hypotenuse is 5 centimeters, or you can say from the figure it is BC, 5 centimeters. Okay, now what we need is, we are finding out what is this AO, or you can say this part. If I am taking it as A dash, A dash O will be same as AO. So I am just finding out AO, for that becoming the radius of the cone. For that we will use the concept of area. Okay, area of triangle ABC. Area of triangle ABC is equal to half BH, that you know. And here this is a right triangle, so you can use half BH as base as 3 and 4, base and height. So you will get half into 3 into 4, which is equal to what you will get, is 6 centimeter squares. But again, the area of the same triangle can be taken as with BC as the base and AO as the altitude. So I'm just writing, instead of area of triangle ABC, half into BC into AO, which is equal to 6 centimeter. You have already got. Now BC, you know, it is 5, right? So it is half into 5 into AO equal to 6, or AO is equal to 6 into 2 by 5, or 12 by 5. So AO you got to be 12 by 5. Now what we will find out, what is the volume of the double cone. Now volume of the double cone is, actually remember that we have not got separately what is this and this, so that we will just combine. If I am getting BO plus OC, I can replace it with BC value. Okay, so that is our intention to make like that. So volume of the double cone will be equal to volume of this cone plus volume of this one. Okay, so it is 1 by 3 pi r square h plus 1 by 3 pi r square h. Now I am replacing the h, that is height, as that points. Okay, so pi r square h, r is same AO. For both I have that radius to be AO square. So pi AO square into, if I am taking the first one, I will get BO as the height, plus 1 by 3 pi AO square into, for the second one it is OC. So that I can take this in common. 1 by 3 pi AO square is common, and I am getting BO plus OC. Now see, if I am getting BO plus OC, I can replace it with BC, and BC value we know. Okay, so this will become 1 by 3 pi AO square. What is AO? Again, AO you have is to be 12 by 5 the whole square, into this will become BC. Now replacing the value again for pi as 22 by 7 and BC as 5, we will get 1 by 3 into 22 by 7 into 12 by 5 into 12 by 5 into 5. Okay, so calculating this, what you will get is 48 into 22 divided by 35, which will give you 30.17 centimeter cube. So this is the volume of the double cone. Now we have to find out the surface area. So surface area of the double cone will be the curved surface area of one cone plus the curved surface area of the other cone. You will get pi RL plus pi RL, but the L will be differing, R is the same. So pi R is what? For the first cone, if I am taking, R is AO, AO is 12 by 5, into L is 3, plus again pi R is same, L is different, which is 4. Okay, so you are getting pi into, pi is common, here you will have 36 by 5 plus 48 by 5, which is equal to pi into, how much you will get? 84 by 5, right? 84 by 5. Replace the value of pi, 22 by 7 into 84 by 5, which is equal to, you are getting it to be 52.8. 52.8 centimeter squares. So that is the surface area of the double cone. Question number 3 is a cistern. A cistern means it is a tank to fill water. Okay. Cistern internally measuring 150 centimeter by 120 centimeter by 110 centimeter has 129600 centimeter cube of water in it. Porous bricks are placed in the water until the cistern is full to the brim. Each brick absorbs 1/17 of its own volume of water. How many bricks can be put in without overflowing the water? It is given that each brick has its dimensions as 22.5 centimeter by 7.5 centimeter by 6.5 centimeter. So the bricks dimension is given, the cistern's dimension is given, and how much it can accommodate, its capacity is also given, and there is a relation given, that is you have to just put the bricks, how many bricks you can put. Those bricks are porous bricks, that means they have pores in it, they can absorb water. So they are saying that the bricks are absorbing water, each brick is absorbing water in such a manner that it is 1/17 of its own volume. So we have to get the volume of the water also. Okay, so let's start with, that is, first we will find out what is the volume of the cistern. Volume of cistern will be, what is the dimension given as? 150 by 120 by 110. 150 by 120 by 110. And how much you are getting? 15 into 12 into 11 will give you 1980. Remaining zeros you will get. So how many zeros? 4 zeros together with 198. So 198, 0, 1, 2, 3 zeros of this centimeter cubes is the volume of the cistern. Now, volume of the water in cistern will be, that is given in the question. Volume of water in the cistern is given to be 129600 centimeter cubes, right? That is given. Next, what will be the volume of a brick? Volume of one brick. Volume of a brick is equal to 22.5 by 7.5 by 6.5, and this is equal to how much? You just calculate and tell. 1096.88 centimeter cubes. That is volume of one brick. Now what we will do is, volume of water absorbed by one brick will be what? By each brick it is 1/17. So 1/17 of this will give you the volume of water absorbed by that brick. Okay, volume of water absorbed by a brick is equal to 1/17 of volume of a brick, which is 1096.88, and we will just keep it like this because we need what will be the volume absorbed by n bricks, which we don't know. We have to find out how many they are. Okay, so let n be the number of bricks. So here you can just write the unit, which is centimeter cubes. N be the number of bricks. So what you will get? Volume of water absorbed by n bricks will be n into this much, right? So volume of water absorbed by n bricks is equal to n into this much, this total. So it is n/17 into 1096.88 centimeter cubes. Okay. Now, volume of water which is left in the cistern will be how much? It will be the total volume of water minus the volume of the water absorbed by n bricks. Okay. So volume, you can say now the volume of water left in the cistern will be same as volume of water in the cistern, volume of water in the cistern minus volume of the water absorbed by n bricks. Okay, volume of water in the cistern minus volume of water absorbed by n bricks. So that will be how much? This is the volume of the water in the cistern minus by n bricks, it is n/17 into 1096.88. So this much is the volume in the volume of water left in the cistern. Now, what will be the volume of the cistern? It will be same as the volume of the water left in the cistern plus the volume of the bricks, right? So, volume of the water left in the cistern plus volume of the bricks, cistern plus volume of the bricks will be equal to volume of the cistern. Because we are filling or putting the bricks to the brim, that means it should not overflow. The water should not go out till that moment we have to put the bricks. So that should be same as the volume of the cistern only. Volume of the cistern. Now equating these, we can find out what is N equal to. Okay, so what is this volume of water left? This much. 129,600 minus N by 17 into 1096.88. This is this volume plus volume of the bricks. How much you have got? Volume of the bricks, you have that to be 1 brick you have calculated. So how many bricks you have? You have taken N bricks. So it will be N into volume of 1 brick. So it is N into 1096.88. And this is equal to volume of the cistern. Volume of the cistern is 198,0000. Okay. Now that this is a number, this is also a number, here you have both as N terms and they have something in common. N into 1096.88 is common in both the things. So you'll get N into 1096.88 in common. Taking out, this will give you 1. Here it is left with 1 by 17. And this number is going there, so it will become 198,0000 minus 129,600. Okay, so this will become 16 by 17. So N into 1096.88 into 16 by 17 is equal to how much you are getting after subtraction? You will get 1850400. 1850400. So that N will be equal to 1850400 into 17 divided by 1096.88 into 16, and the value which you are getting after calculation is 1792.410. 1792.410. But actually N is what? N is the number of bricks, so that you can just approximately take it as 1792, which is approximately equal to 1792. Therefore, the number of bricks is 1792. Okay. Question number 4 is, in one fortnight of a given month, there was a rainfall of 10 centimeter in a river valley. If the area of the valley is 7280 km square, show that the total rainfall was approximately equivalent to the addition to the normal water of 3 rivers, each, that is length, breadth and height, depth is given for the 3 rivers, and you have to calculate or you have to see whether this volume is same as the volume of the addition of these 3 rivers. Okay, addition of these 3 rivers volume should be equal to, is it equal to what you are getting the volume for that rainfall? Okay, so let's start with, that is area of the valley. Area of the valley is given to be 7280 km square. Now when the rainfall is having that 10 centimeter, that is giving you the height actually. So area into height will give you the total volume of the water in the valley. Okay, therefore volume of water in the valley will be equal to this area of the valley into that 10 centimeter. Again, that is in centimeters and you have to convert into kilometer. So 10 by 100 will give you in meters, and again by 1000 will give you in kilometers. That means you have altogether 2 plus 3, 5 zeros in the denominator of 10. Okay, so to convert it into kilometer. So 7280 kilometers into 10 by 100 for meters and the other for kilometer conversion. So this much you will have, and this is the volume of the valley. How much you will get? Here 1 0 get cancelled, 1 2 3 4. So you are getting 0.728 kilometer cube as the, so this is kilometer square, this is in kilometers, so total kilometer cube is the volume. And next is length of each river is given, width is given, but this is in kilometers, these two are in meters, so we have to convert them and then take the volume of each river. Okay, so length of each river is given to be 1072, that is in kilometers, so no need to change. Now what is width? Width of each river is given to be 75 meter, and its again conversion will give you 75 by 1000 kilometers, so it is 0.075. 75 by 1000 will give you kilometers, so it is 0.075 kilometers. Next is depth of each river, which is equal to 3 meter, again 3 by 1000 will give you 0.003 kilometers. So this much you have got for your volume of the river you have to calculate. Okay, now volume of one river you will get, and then you can find out volume of 3 rivers, that is 3 into the volume of one river, and you have to check whether this volume which you have got in the value is same as this which you have got by multiplying 3 into with the volume of 1. Okay, so first we will find out, therefore volume of one river, volume of water in one river, not volume of river, you can say volume of water in one river is equal to 1072 into 0.075 into 0.003. And how much you are getting, just calculate and see. You have to get 0.2412 kilometer cubes. So this is what you are getting for 1. Now what will be for 3? That means we have to multiply it with 3. Therefore volume of water in 3 rivers will be equal to 3 into 0.2412, which is 0.7236 kilometer cube. So this is what you are getting for volume of water in 3 rivers, and volume of water in the valley you have got it to be 0.728. They are approximately equivalent, so that is what they have asked, was approximately equivalent. So yes, we can say that they are approximately equal. Okay, therefore the volume, total rainfall is approximately equivalent to the addition to the normal water in the 3 rivers. To the addition to the normal water in the 3 rivers, normal waters of 3 rivers. Okay, so since the values which you have got is approximately same, 0.728, 0.723. Okay, clear?